Kevin, Juan, and Lexi each took turns driving on a trip from Austin to San Antonio. Each drove the same number of miles. How far did each drive? Draw a picture to show how they divided the trip.
All right, work with your partner. I'm going to give you about 7 minutes to solve this.
As soon as the bell rings, usually we turn on the problem, we let it read it to them. They have 7 or 8 minutes to solve it. No, you're right here. What are you dividing? As a teacher, I look for them working together and talking it through themselves, where I just come around and ask them questions, and I really don't do much during it. I just kind of facilitate and walk around.
That's fine. Do they go on picture? Do they go separate?
And it's usually the unit after that we did. So this was division. We did it last week, so it's now our problem of the day, so they should be able to solve it.
Solve the whole question. Justify.
All right, we're going to have one of the groups I've already looked at. We have some different answers. We have a couple of different answers. I'm going to see who did it correctly. This group today.
Usually we ask for volunteers.
Okay.
Sometimes it's even a group that's not correct. And then we talk about why it's not right, and the other kids usually tell them they're not right, and we figure out how to correct it. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not right. It just depends.
75 what?
Miles.
Okay. That's what you're going to do to divide.
To analyze, I'm looking for, like he said, the main idea, the main detail. And I'm also looking, like if there's a graphic, like on this problem, that they take the graphic and they use that information in their details, in their analyze. Also, we have them write the question in that part so they know exactly what they're looking for. And I do that so that they don't have to go back to the word problem and keep reading it over and over.
Okay. So is that the question of the problem? Is that what they're asking you to do? Okay.
The plan is what they're going to do. Are you going to multiply? Are you going to divide? Which operation are you going to use? Or are you going to draw a strip diagram? What are you going to do to solve it?
Go ahead and show us what your plan is. Change it back to pen.
So represent is where we have the hardest time usually, because it's what you would do in solve, but instead of the numbers, it is what those numbers represent. They're represented, they can represent with a strip diagram, with a number line.
Okay. So when we come to represent, we're gonna she makes by divide, we're gonna divide the number of miles.
Solve, they're using those, actually putting numbers to that, and they are solving it any way they possibly can.
So what are you doing with that? All I see is number of miles by number of people.
Solution, they're taking that question that they found out, what the question was, and they're reversing it into a statement and writing their answer in that statement. And justify, they usually take the inverse operation and flip it around and solve it to make sure their answer was correct, or we solve it a different way, or they check for reasonableness, if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, then it's not right, and we need to go back to solve.
So is 25 miles each a reasonable answer for both, for all three to drive?
We talk about it, and that's our problem of the day, I guess.
Y'all multiply, right? Why did y'all multiply?